For 3 years, Layla put every spare coin into a blue metal box. She counted the money each Saturday, locked it, and felt safe. But the fuller the box became, the more afraid she was to touch it. One rainy night, an old clockmaker looked at her savings and asked a question that changed her life. He did not ask how much it held. He asked, "What has this money done for you?" Layla could not answer. Layla had learned to fear an empty pocket when she was 14. Her father injured his hand, the family workshop closed for months, and every bill felt heavier than the last. He never blamed money. He simply placed a few coins in the blue box and told her, "Small savings can give a worried family one quiet night." Layla remembered the relief more clearly than the coins. To her, safety and stillness slowly became the same thing. 5 years later, Layla worked in the same building, now shared with Idris, the clockmaker. She repaired old books, served customers, and saved almost half of every payment. She refused invitations, delayed useful courses, and even kept broken tools. Saving protected her from danger, but fear had quietly become the owner of her money. Whenever an opportunity appeared, she pictured the locked workshop and stepped back. The box was protecting an old memory, not choosing her future. Idris did not tell her to spend everything or chase a risky investment. He placed 3 plain bowls on the table. "Money needs jobs," he said. "Some must protect you, some must pay for life, and some should help you learn, build, or earn. If every coin only hides, your fear grows richer, but you do not." He turned the bowls toward her. Guard, live, grow. None was allowed to steal from the others. Layla divided her plan, not her courage. She kept 6 months of essential expenses untouched. She reserved a fair amount for ordinary life. Then she allowed a small growth fund, money she could afford to lose without losing her home. The rule was simple: no guessing, no borrowing, and no purchase that could not teach or produce. Idris made her write the rules before seeing a bargain. Excitement could not rewrite them later. At a weekend market, Layla found a used book press and basic binding tools. The new machines were faster, but they cost nearly all her savings. The older set cost only a small part. She tested every handle, checked replacement pieces, negotiated calmly, and walked away once before returning. Before paying, she asked 2 repairers whether the press was dependable. Both said its simple parts could last for years. For the first time, she spent without feeling careless. The press did not create success. It created work. Layla watched lessons, practiced after closing, ruined paper, miscut covers, and started again. She recorded every cost and every mistake. After 6 weeks, she could make a strong journal. Her skill had grown, yet she still had no customers. Idris praised her progress, then pointed to the empty order book. Making something well and making something wanted were different skills. A useful asset needed a useful purpose. Layla made 12 elegant journals using the paper she liked best. She imagined travelers buying them at once. Idris asked who had requested them. Layla had no answer. She had improved the product before understanding the problem. She priced the journals from her effort, not from a buyer's need. The market would soon test the story she had told herself. Still, she carried them there, certain that good craft alone would be enough. By sunset, she had sold 1 journal to her cousin. The rest sat untouched. Layla wanted to close the blue box forever and call the experiment foolish. Idris studied the unsold stack and said, "You did not lose your future. You paid for honest information. It becomes waste only if pride stops you from using it." The words hurt because they were true. She had bought a lesson, but only humility could collect it. The next morning, Layla went to the station cafe without a sales bag. She listened. A mother kept losing train tickets. A student carried loose notes. A traveler wanted pages he could replace. Layla asked short questions and wrote down patterns. She noticed the same frustrations repeating in different voices. For the first time, her notebook held evidence instead of guesses. People did not need prettier journals. They needed small tools for messy journeys. She changed the design, a pocket for tickets, an elastic strap, replaceable pages, and 3 simple sizes. She made only 4, then asked customers to test them. 2 sold. 1 came back with a helpful complaint. Layla fixed it and sold 3 more. She treated each sale as a question, not applause. Every answer made the next 4 journals cheaper, stronger, and easier to use. The money was modest, but the lesson was valuable. Solve first, decorate second. Each week, Layla paid herself a small amount, replaced materials, and returned part of the profit to the growth fund. She did not count every sale as income. She counted paper, repairs, time, and unsold pieces. She also kept the emergency money separate. Growth could reward patience, but it was never allowed to endanger rent, food, or peace. Months later, the little press had paid back its cost. More important, her skill could now create value again and again. Then another storm tore part of the workshop roof. Water reached the shelves and repairs could not wait. Layla opened the blue box. Her emergency fund paid the roofer without debt, panic, or selling the press. The press stayed dry under a heavy cover. By morning, Layla was tired, but the business and the family were still standing. In that moment, she understood the whole lesson. Saving had not kept her small. Saving and building, used together, had kept her free. A year later, the workshop was still modest, but it was busy. Layla trained a young apprentice and kept 3 quiet promises: protect what matters, enjoy life within reason, and use a careful part to grow skills and choices. When her apprentice asked about the blue box, Layla smiled. It protected her future, but it no longer contained it. Money was no longer a locked trophy or a dangerous master. It had become what it should be: a tool.